Alright guys, so I'm here bringing you guys another breakdown video essentially of some 0 DTE call options as well as puts that I did take in Tesla. I swung some 5-9 300 calls from yesterday, which was Thursday, and then I also purchased some 0 DTEs today, and then I also traded some puts here today. So I'm going to break down that trade, and I'm also going to break down my Topstep trade that I took. I have 5 XFAs, as you guys do know. I took some trades overnight yesterday. I made my money in that, locked out to prep for the fact that I have a swing trade, and I only wanted to focus solely on my Tesla swing. So I'm going to break down the reason why I took the swing, and then I'm going to go ahead and inform you guys where I got in, where I got out. I think I had made about 500% on these options. So with no further ado, let's go ahead and let's talk about the contracts that I got into. So I did get into some 300 call options, and I actually got them pretty high. I'm not gonna lie. I was seeing unusual call volume coming in and stepping in yesterday when essentially Trump had announced the Chinese tariff news, and he was basically saying that they were gonna bring the tariffs down. I believe it was like 50%. There was a bunch of news coming out around there. So I was like, you know what, this might be beneficial for Tesla. We were basically talking about how there's been an influx on the 300 calls on the week. So I ended up getting in like May 9th calls. I got in like high end here. Like I got in probably at like 288.40s, I would say. So I got in somewhere around this vicinity, and the whole point of this trade was, hey, I think we're gonna open up and we might squeeze towards that 300. There was a lot of call volume going. Hold on, I'm sorry, I have gum in my mouth. There was a lot of call volume going into that, and I was like, you know what? There's a good chance we might get a squeeze. So while we did have this down move, right? This down move is relatively ugly to close out the day. As we had this down move, I was like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and add. I didn't add into the weeklies, though. What I did was I took some May 25th calls. Now, that was going to be just in case the weeklies did not work and expired worthless. What I was going to do was I was going to have a longer time frame option just in case, we were going to get a significant flush out in the market. So keep in mind, I purchased the weeklies. I think it was like 88.40s, and then I purchased the May 25th 300 calls. I think I bought them like near VWAP. I didn't catch the lows. I bought it like around here. But anyways, we go straight into the day, and we get this beautiful surge across the 200 daily moving average. Here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the daily. We get this beautiful surge, and one key aspect is this line right here. Look how many times we've tried to pop over it and kept rejecting. It's only a matter of time before we were just going to bust straight through that. So we bust through the 200 daily moving average, and we broke right over that 295-ish area. Once that area broke, it was game on. Like I knew, there's a good chance that I was going to be on the right side of this trade. We get this strong volume candle straight out the open, another surge. And from here, I actually picked up a few more weeklies, 0 DTEs, picked up a couple more. And I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I didn't reach the full 300. I got out dude, this is shameful. But I got out I think 70s. Like 299.70-ish area is where I got out of the calls. Just because I was like, dude, what if they get us just right there, right? They just get us right there, and then they just, pull it back on us. So I got out. I'm happy with the trade because it was well over 400, 500% trade on my calls. And then I think I got out the May 25th a little bit, the May 25th ones, I might have hit 380. I might have gotten out right here on this candle. So, and it ended up surging. I ended up, after I, fully out of the position, making like 400, 500%. After I got out of the position, we got some really good fail follow through momentum. We had this nice little exchange, flushed out. I got some 300 puts, some 0 DTE 300 puts. I scooped them up around here, and we flushed out. I covered like right here on the reclaim of VWAP. Right here, I just covered it. I was like, listen, this is the strongest name in the market on Friday. 300 has been a significant level. So I don't want to mess around too much, just in case we do ramp up, get like an ABCD pattern where, this is a low. Like, let's say this is a low. This can turn into a higher low. And then we gear up, we come back, higher low, and then move. Of course, that doesn't happen, right? We completely fell out. So, I'm never going to catch like the whole move, but I caught a good chunk of the meat of the move on both directions. Enough to where I made possibly like 600% in totality on the option contracts. Like out of all the option contracts I purchased, I think I made like 600-700% on the contracts. I'm not going to go ahead and show my purchases and my sales because that would immediately go into my P&L as well. I don't want to do that. As you guys know, it's process over P&L over here. I just have to explain the reason for the trade, why I got in, and I even have proof here. I'll show you guys a little bit of proof. So today is 5/9/2025. We're going to go into the Discord that I'm in. I'm going to bring this over, and I'm going to show you my username. So this is me right here. V for Vega, that's me. So whenever you see this image, it's me. Look what I'm typing. Right here. So this was yesterday at 3:22 p.m. Scoop some Tesla 300 calls, expire tomorrow. I think parabolic tomorrow. If Tesla gets above 295, which is incredibly possible, I think moonshots past 300. Need to get over that 200 daily moving average. Scoop some time as well on those calls May 25th. This was on Thursday. So this whole, thought process was on Thursday, which was yesterday. And, basically, I'm super happy, as you guys can tell. I think I showed my P&L a little bit there. I don't want to really do that. I shared it in the Discord. I don't really want to show that on YouTube because too many people get P&L focused rather than getting educated on how did I make that P&L. So if you guys seen the P&L, it's a pretty substantial number, but that's not the point of the video. The point is understanding the reason. If you did not know about the call volume, let's say hypothetically you did not know about, oh my God, this unusual call volume, whatever the case may be. Just from a technical analysis standpoint, once we open up, in my opinion, once we open up and we get a strong move over the daily 200, a strong move over 295, it's game on. You know what I'm saying? You take any position. If you want to play calls, you play calls, and it's up to you. If you want to play the worthless game where whatever the benefit about like calls and 0 DTE call options is like, let's say hypothetically speaking, you buy $300 worth of calls. That's all you're gonna risk. So let's say you wanted to play the worthless game where you just let them expire worthless if they don't go in the money or whatever the case is. That's the type of risk you could put on. You could have put on, or you could just put the type of risk where, all right, well, if we fail this candle, you got to risk accordingly, of course. If we give this whole move back, I'm going to stop out. There's no reason, in my opinion, to be stopping out. Let's say, hypothetically, you got in here and then it flushed back here. You should not be stopping out here. Like, there is no excuse for stopping out on this move. It's not covering the full candle. You're not getting under the 200. You know what I'm saying? So if you're going to get into a momentum play like this, you have to understand that you have to go in with some sort of risk parameters in check. Either you size in accordingly or you utilize option contracts to be like, all right, well, if this expires worthless, then it is what it is. So that way you know. That's how I would go ahead and play this. Of course, I swung mine and I bought some here and wrote them up. But that's basically it. So from a straight, specific like technical breakout aspect, this is what you want to see. If you did not know about the call volume, because not everyone is going to be looking at call volume. You know, a lot of people don't have the type of data feed that I have where I can look into, okay, there's unusual amount of calls going in at a specific level, and you know, it is what it is. So that was my Tesla trade. I hope you guys enjoyed that breakdown. If there's any questions you guys do have in regards to the Tesla trade, feel free to leave a comment. I will try to go ahead and answer them, and if I can't answer it in the comment section in a clear, concise way, I can literally just do a whole other video breaking down, because this was a major opportunity today. Like, it was a very big opportunity to get on the right side of a trade and exponentially grow an account or exponentially take advantage of this move. So let's go into the trades that I took in Topstep, because I did finish very early yesterday. I took a couple of trades. I took okay, so straight out the gate, we had a gap up. Like, we had gapped up here. I shorted this immediately. I was immediately short ES just for the gap fill. Assuming that, all right, well, you know, we have some news coming in. You know, we had a nice flush out. We're kind of gapping up to open. We started open up here. So I just shorted this off the rip. I think I made like, I'll give you P&L. I made like 400 on this, I guess, like about $400. And then where the real trade came was I was scaled. I was super scaled because there's something that specifically I was looking at. I can't go into extreme details on it because this is just something that I don't want to ruin it. Like, if this gets out, too many people will start seeing it, and I don't want people to see what I know. So, anyways, you know, for specifically for futures. Anyways, I was super scaled here, like max size. I think I have 50K Express account, so you know, like 5 NQs is the max, but my max that I'm willing to go is like 2 NQs. So I think I had like 17 or MESs or ES. I had 17 MESs on around here. And I rode this all the way down to here. No. To here. I rode it down to here, and I got out. I got out of my position. Of course, I kept on flushing because I always miss out on the extra percentage points. Took a good chunk of me to the move. And that basically had me done with my Topstep account. So I have 5 XFAs, as you guys do know. Up very nicely in all of those accounts. Actually, throughout the whole week, I've been having a phenomenal week in futures. And yeah, that is basically the trades I took today. Done. I locked out of my XFAs, and I only had the Tesla option trades today. So other than that, hope you guys enjoyed. If there's any questions you guys have, feel free to leave them. And maybe I'll make another video on the Tesla trade. Maybe something about ES if you guys are interested. I should be doing a breakdown video over the weekend on things that I'll be looking forward to. And that is it, man. You guys have a good day. Thank you for watching. Peace out.